Okay, Xenoverse 2, honestly, the game has changed an insane amount since it has been out. Like, really think back, guys. There were so many things that were different back in the day with this game as opposed to now. Just in terms of skills, it's absolutely insane. It's almost a brand new game in terms of how the meta is and things along those lines. Now, of course, there's been things added in terms of modes, all this stuff, which I did make a video on talking about the progression of Xenoverse 2 from where it was day one to where it actually is now, to show that we've really gotten a lot of stuff and changes made to this game from the very beginning when it did come out almost 5 years ago at this point in time. I know it's crazy to even think about that in 3 months we are going to be at the Xenoverse 2 5-year anniversary. It's kind of unreal that I've been playing this game for that long. Anyways, like I was saying, man, the community and the game has truly changed a lot. Now, I did a video on the game talking about these changes and things like that. So what I want to talk about and highlight today is how we as a community have grown and honestly changed quite a bit from the very beginning, when honestly everyone complained about almost everything. For example, the first major example I want to talk about, and this, in my opinion, shows how we have grown as a community, is Aura Slide. Aura Slide is a move that everyone hated, and the major reason they hated it was because it gave you a infinite combo, and it gave you like 1.5k to 2k damage for using Aura Slide and getting that infinite combo extension. Once the move was nerfed in terms of its damage, you saw no one really using it, and you saw no one complaining about it because it went from doing like 1.5k to 2k damage for the combo extension to like 300 to 500 damage or something along those lines. Like, it became extremely weak in terms of extending your combos and just using that one jab of the Aura Slide to keep that infinite going. So with that being said, think about how many moves are in the game now that offer combo extension, and then how many of them actually do way more damage than that. I mean, a prime example is a move like Destruction Fissure. Is it Fissure or Fracture? The one that's a super attack where like Topo gives you the gut punch. That move right there, it literally does 4 to 5k damage depending on your CAC. And it gives you the same kind of combo extension that Aura Slide did. But no one complains about it now. Again, because I do feel we have evolved as a community, man. Like, we truly have grown and tried to stop complaining about things for the most part. And it seems like as a community, we're more about trying to get around things and just beat things at this point in time. Like, honestly, the only thing that I really have an issue with when I play online is like a modder. Like, that's the only thing that I really is like, damn, I don't even want to fight this. Now, there's some things that are still out there. You know, you still got your 3-bar margins, which, by the way, were nerfed slightly, so they're not nearly as bad as they used to be. You got your things like angry hit and stuff like that, but for the most part, again, you don't see too much complaining on these things like you used to, because in every video that I posted back in the day, there was a complaint, at least like 10 to 15 complaints about something that somebody was doing in the game. So again, we've evolved greatly, I feel like, in terms of moves that gave that infinite combo extension for one. But another prime example, and I think this one above all, is one that really shows that we have changed a lot and we have grown over things and tried not to complain about things as much as we did. And what I'm referring to with that is square triangle / XY cancels. When this was introduced to Xenoverse 2, there was barely anyone that you could find in the game that did not have an issue with it. Like, literally, barely anyone that played the game at that point in time didn't have an issue with an XY cancel, which started with the male Earthlings. The male Earthlings were like the first ones in the community to discover this. I don't know who discovered it and who started it, but I know it started with the male Earthling CAC. And with that CAC, you were able to do an XY / square triangle and basically be free. It was used as a cancel similar to a key cancel, and it would get you out of sticky situations, right? Everybody hated that at that point in time. But now you think about it, almost every character in the game has been discovered for the most part to have some kind of cancel in some way, shape, or form. Now, it's not obviously like legit almost every character. I'm being a little bit dramatic with that, but a lot of characters have been found to have an XX or an XY cancel, or a square or a square triangle cancel. And then there's some that even have both. You got a character like Jiren who's out here who literally has not only a square triangle, but he has a square as well. And I think the female Majin might be the same. I know they definitely have one, but I feel like they might actually have two different cancels with an XX and an XY as well. So again, that is something that started as an absolute hate in the community, and now it's like people are just trying to find other cancels to combat these cancels with. Like, okay, the male Earthling got one, but let's see what other characters have one as well, so I can use these characters in the same manner and basically combat a male Earthling's XY or square triangle combo that they're constantly trying to do. So that right there is, I feel, the biggest thing that truly shows how much we have grown and changed, because again, that was something that was a major issue in this community. Like a major issue was the XY and the square triangle cancels in this game, again, when it was first discovered by male Earthlings. But now there have been so many characters to be discovered with these cancels that nobody really complains about them, and a lot of people honestly do use them. Now myself, I don't personally use them because I mean it just feels weird personally, to be honest. I'd rather just key cancel, but when I do see someone using them now as opposed to back then, I do not have issue with it. Like back in the day, it was like, oh, look at this dude with the square triangle nonsense. Now it's like, okay, I see you using that square triangle, my boy. I'm still about to bust that ass though. Like it's a different mindset, and it's more of like, okay, how am I gonna get around this and beat this guy, as opposed to just complaining that he's using an XY or XX cancel on Xenoverse 2. And again, like I said, man, I feel that is the biggest like showing factor of how much the community has truly grown, because not many people really do complain about that anymore at this point in time. Another type of cancel would be key cancel / key stuns. That's another thing that a lot of people did complain about early on, but the more and more people saw it, and the more and more people saw literally every character can do this, the less people started to complain about it. Like, there's still people who complain about that till this day. I mean, there's still people who complain about all this stuff till this day that I've listed, but at the same time, again, the amount is not nearly as high as it used to be, and so many people have just taken on the mindset of either I'm gonna find a way around this, or this is just what Xenoverse is and I'm gonna accept it and live with it and still try to have a good and fun time on the game. So do you agree with me overall, man, that as a community we have changed, we have grown, we have matured a lot in the stuff that we used to call cheese and used to call like nonsense and all that stuff on the game, as opposed to now where, again, like I said, you really do not see much complaints at all in this community talking about cheesy stuff. Really, when it comes to the complaints, the only thing you see people complain about for the most part is modders. I mean, modders is like the only thing. Netcode is something else you see complaints about, but that's not anything that has to do with the game in terms of like cheese or anything. The only thing that people complain about in that sense, like I said, is really modders at this point in time. That's the only thing that I can truthfully say gameplay wise people complain about on a consistent basis now, as opposed to before. Like I said earlier, almost in every single video, pretty much actually in every single video, there was like 15 comments of people complaining about different things, and that's when videos were only getting like 1 to 2K views. So they were still that many comments of people complaining back then, even though the views weren't the highest. Now there's less complaints and way more views on these videos, obviously. So again, I do feel like we have changed, we have evolved, but let me know if you agree and feel like we have changed and evolved as a community as well down below in the comments. But as always, man, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, hope you have a good day. Peace, y'all.